All right, everybody. Peace to all of you in the name of Yeshua, the name of Jesus, our Messiah. What a beautiful Sunday it is. Kind of overcast, lightly drizzling out there with the animals this morning. It was a nice time to enjoy the nature and the creation before coming in to stare at the screen for some time to get that work in. All right, guys. It is Sunday, which means it is still the weekend. We have a lot of things to discuss as far as the Bitcoin and Ethereum price action goes. What I want to do in this video is I just want to lay out some quick little TA things, and I want to discuss, kind of my plan, how I am looking at things, especially as we are moving into the week, and the areas I'm looking for to enter a trade. As many of you probably are aware from my stream last night, if you happen to catch that, I do not trade on Saturdays, so after waiting all day Friday for a nice trade, either long or short, a nice entry, I did not get any. And then, of course, the one day that I'm not trading, I had a super nice long, a super nice short, and a super nice long as well. And so what I want to do is, first let me jump into the chat, say hey to everybody. Hey, everybody, what's up, Creepy Joe? Shout out to Creepy Joe. Shout out to Moon Wolf. Shout out to Danny Peters. And Steph wants me to check out Aeon. I'll make a note of that. Yeah, so Jay Jackson, what are we thinking hits first? The 58,760 CME gap or the all-time high? Well, we're going to talk about that. Guys, like the video, FOMO into the like button, because as you guys know, my like button, unlike the Bitcoin price, is completely parabolic, and this is the time to FOMO. If you're not one who's into FOMOing, look at these candles. You do not want to miss out on this asset, especially since it is trading on Bybit. It is trading on Bybit with up to 10x leverage. All right, let's do some TA, guys. All right, so this is the daily time frame. And as you can see, I kind of marked a level right here on the daily time frame. This is not really a daily support or resistance level. I would, if it was daily, I would move it down a little bit to right about here. At 58,980, right around that $59,000 level, because this is where, as you can see, we've been getting massive amounts of resistance, and technically now this would be a support that I would keep my eyes on the daily level. But I moved it up a little bit higher just because if we go to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that on the 4-hour time frame, this is the level that I think we should really be keeping our eyes on, simply because we have a lot of candles opening and closing on this level on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so this was acting as a massive resistance the end of March, the beginning of April. Then it became a support, and it became resistance again, and then when we finally broke it, it's acting as support currently. So I think this is a level that we need to keep our eyes on. When we turn on Market Cipher B on the daily, let me just do a quick breakdown of what I'm looking for and what I see happening here. We are still bullish on the daily time frame, okay? We have a lot of separation between these waves here, meaning that we do have a lot more upward potential on the daily time frame. We do also see a clear direction of upward momentum on the daily time frame. If we just take a trend line and take it from this point and kind of line it through these waves here, we can see just a very clear kind of buildup, right? Where the momentum waves are crossing over higher and higher. And that's a very good sign as far as bullish momentum goes overall. But the big question is, is this momentum going to continue? Because it seems like every time we come up to this resistance, we get a rejection, and that's been happening all the way since the 20th of February. Basically, we had some anomalies here, but really we have not been able to come above this trend line / daily support resistance level since the end of February. So every time we come up to these levels, I'm always looking for a short And every time we come down to one of these supports, I'm looking for a long. The 12-hour is looking a little bit, the VWAP is looking kind of weak, guys. The VWAP is looking kind of weak, like potentially, we could come down. And if we go to the 8-hour time frame, it looks like we're about to have a crossover at the top here, which usually will signify that we're going to come down a little bit. Whenever we're printing these red waves on the 8-hour, it usually means we are going to come down a little bit, or at least have a period of consolidation. Go to the 6-hour, and we've already printed that red trigger wave, and you can see the VWAP is pointing down. Momentum is coming down. The 4-hour as well. Momentum is coming down here. So, well, before I get into what I'm looking for as far as entries go, let me do some other analysis here. Let me put on some EMAs. Put on 2 EMAs. I will put on the 21, and I will put on the 55. And of course, guys, have to change it to purple. Blue and purple are my colors here. And so on the 4-hour, I think this is quite significant. Ever since we had this dump right here and we longed it, we came up and we got a bounce off of the 21 EMA at the same time that the 2 EMAs were crossing over each other. And we also had this, I don't know if you can see here, but we did have a money flow crossover on the 4-hour as well. And whenever we get those 3 things together, whenever we get a bounce off the EMAs and we get the 21 crossing over the 55, and we have a money flow crossover on the 4-hour on Market Cipher B, that's where we tend to get these kind of pumps, and you can see that happened over the weekend here, and unfortunately I was not able to capitalize on that. Neither was I able to capitalize on this. And guys, this is something that I think is very, how should I say, lucrative for your trading, which is if we are in an uptrend. And I would define an uptrend on the 4-hour time frame as the 21 EMA being over the 55 EMA. Whenever we come down and test these EMAs, I shouldn't say always. This oftentimes will lead to a nice trade entry where you can almost kind of take for granted the fact that, we're going to get a nice bounce. Let's take a look at just historically when that happens, right? We got one here. That was really nice. I remember I took this long trade here, and I actually did post it in the Discord. I think so. It was a while ago. Let me see. When was this actually? March 31st. Let's see. March 31st. Yeah, here it is right here. Bounce off the EMA. Posted this thing in the trading Discord, guys, because these bounces, are very lucrative for us. That was right here, as you can see. So when we are in the uptrend, and also it's very important that you're getting confluence on the lower time frames as well, right? You don't just want to long bounce, although you can have pretty good success rate with it, but you want to go down to the lower time frames as well on Market Cipher B and just make sure we're getting that upward momentum, because there is going to come a time where we hit that trend line and we fall through. We hit that moving average and we fall through. But I missed both of those. But the good thing is we are currently bullish on the 4-hour time frame, and we're just waiting for momentum to come down a little bit, right? We just had a money flow crossover. We had this bottom, okay? I longed it kind of up to here in two chunks. And then we had this consolidation. We had the money flow crossover. We had the trend line, the moving averages crossover. We had this pump. So now officially, I would say that Bitcoin is again in an uptrend. And really, this is the point of decision, because we have these key resistance levels up here that need to be broken. And if they're not broken, then I do believe we're going to come back down and see some lower levels, which will offer us some good long trades. And here's the thing. It's not too crazy what's happening. It's not that crazy. We can just look at Bitcoin as we've been trading in this range, since the middle of March, really. We've been trading within this range. And besides coming down to 50K that one time, we've really been trading within this kind of a range here between 55.5 and the all-time highs. And so unless we're getting confluence on Market Cipher telling us that we're actually going to break above these resistance levels, then, when we come up to these levels, it's not a bad idea to look for a short. And when we come down to these levels, it's not a bad idea to be looking for a long. Now, let us also talk about, well, before we do that, let me pull up another chart here, because I have my levels marked out on this chart. Let me make Wolfpack ID a little bit smaller, make Market Cipher be a little bit smaller, make this thing a little bit larger. These are the levels that I'm currently trading off of. And so basically what I'm doing is I'm waiting for the price to come to one of these areas. Right now we're actually on one of those areas, and it's a good time to be looking for either a long or a short position, depending on what Market Cipher is telling us. If we go down to maybe the 20-minute, things are looking very flat. What I would be looking for when price gets to a level and starts to consolidate like this, like let's look at what happened in the past, right? We see price consolidating here right on this daily level for a while. It's not until we get this money flow crossover that I would actually be interested in looking for, a long position. That's what I want to see. I want to see price coming to one of these levels. I want to see either consolidation. We can look for consolidation and wait for the breakout of consolidation, or we can look for a bounce. If price is coming down like this, right to this level, we would look for a bounce, and the way we look for that bounce is we'd have to come down even lower to a lower time frame and see that as we're bouncing here, we are getting that momentum on the 3-hour time frame where we're printing these bottoms, and then we're getting a clear direction upward, and we have a money flow cross, and we can enter a trade and ride that up. But let's see what's going on right now. So right now on the 3-minute, we actually are getting a money flow crossover that happened back just a few minutes ago, maybe about 15 minutes ago. We had this money flow cross on the 3-minute. So I would keep an eye on it and continue to wait and see, can I see clear direction upwards? Clear direction. Right now, things look a little bit indecisive because we had this direction, but then we came back down a little bit. So I'm waiting for price to come to one of these levels. And when we get to one of these levels, I'm looking for Market Cipher to give me a clear direction. And the best entries are always going to be when the higher time frames, like the 3-hour and the 4-hour, are starting to print a red or a green dot. And here's what I mean by that. We come back in time, we can see that as the 4-hour is starting to cross over, and we can see that it's starting to, and even on the 3-hour, the 3-hour even more so, once we see that the waves are starting to cross over, okay, before the red dot even prints, then we can look up and see, okay, I notice price is trading at a key level of resistance, and because we're starting to print a top on these higher time frames like the 3-hour, I know that we don't have the juice to come through this level. And so that's where you're going to look for your entries. And then the way you would trade these is you would, wait for price to reject off of the level, and then you put your stop above the last swing high, or you could put the stop above the resistance, whatever your risk management plan has. And then you just set your take profits at the next levels of support that you see. And of course, right now I only have daily levels marked. You would have intermediate levels marked on the way down. That way you can ensure that you can lock in the profits when you are in profits. So the most high probability trades that I would be looking for right now are when it looks like, on the 2-hour, on the 1-hour, we're starting to print some kind of upward momentum, and at the same time we're trading on one of these levels. So if price comes down to here, or if price comes down to here, then I'm going to be looking at Market Cipher saying, okay, are we starting to print some kind of bottom? And if we are, those are those super high probability trades where you can get in and you can be very confident that you're going to get a good trade. Now, there's a few things we need to keep in mind. Number one, the CME futures gap. If we go to Bitcoin futures right here, we can see that on Friday the market closed right here. The market closed right down here at 58,675, give or take. And so when we go back to our regular Bitcoin chart, I'll put a level right here, and I'll make this pink so that we know this is the Bitcoin futures gap, which usually gets filled. You know, oftentimes, and it didn't get filled, guys, 2 weeks ago. It did not get filled, but a lot of times price will, when the market opens back up, you know, either today, tonight, or tomorrow, we will see price come down here for a test of this level before coming back up. So that is something to keep in mind, and this is an area where you could potentially look for a long. Also, I think we might be able to say that, you know, we are trading on some kind of, I mean, clearly we have this trend line going on. We have this trend line that's going on. You could say also that we're forming some kind of a triangle pattern, perhaps, some kind of consolidation. You can also say on the higher time frames that we are forming some kind of a bull flag. If we go to the 6 hour, if you ignore this wick down here, you could say that we're doing something similar to this, which if we break out of would be obviously bullish. And the way we would set our take profit for that, depending on how you're looking at this flagpole, I mean, you could take it from here and then move it up, and that would take us to a new all-time high. That would be a new all-time high. So there's a lot of things to look at here, and personally, I don't usually trade on the weekends. I definitely don't trade on Saturdays, and I usually don't trade on Sundays because I'm spending a lot of time with family. But really, what I am waiting for is the 3 hour, the 4 hour to start printing a bottom, and I'm not expecting us to come all the way down here and print another bottom down here. I'm kind of more expecting us to print a green trigger wave somewhere above the zero line or close to the zero line, somewhere in this area here, and that's when we will have a lot of momentum to get those nice long trades, right? Just look at historically, whenever we start to print one of these waves here, this is where we get those big moves, right? We get one right here, we get one right here, we get one right here too. We get these nice moves, those smooth moves, guys. We get those smooth moves with lots of fiber and oatmeal and raisin bran and all that. But you have to make sure that when you're looking for these entrances, that you're getting it quick. Like, you need to jump on these quick when the momentum is hot. Otherwise, you're going to get in at the top and we're going to consolidate and we're going to come back down. Let me jump into the chat real quick. Does the hourly bullish engulfing candle mean anything? Let's check it out. I don't see, maybe we're not talking about Bitcoin here, but I don't see a bullish engulfing candle on the hourly. I do not. Corn is going to go vertical, he banks the drum says. Yeah, Bitcoin is going to go vertical. Yeah, Bitcoin is going vertical. Shout out to Memory Man. Shout out to Kenny. Guys, yeah, FOMO into the JCLB, says Gaius. Yeah, guys, like the video. We've got almost 600 people in here, only 110 likes. What's up, Trampus? Trampus Hawk has some good observations on the Market Cipher B. Some pretty good observations on the Market Cipher B there. Yeah, okay. So let me mark out some levels here. And later on, I'm going to make a TA update and discuss my real plans for trading this week. But right now, if we go to the daily time frame, what we're going to do is we're going to mark out just our daily levels of support and resistance. That way we have a reference point to trade off of. Somebody said a bearish divergence on the 12 hours. So let me check that out first. Let's check it out. So we've got this here, and we've got price coming up. And if this confirms, if this does confirm this 12-hour wave, then yes, that technically would be a bearish divergence on the 12-hour. So that's something to keep an eye on. Okay, let's do this. So I'm going to start over here marking levels because I don't think we're going to be lower than 46K within the near future. But we could be wrong. So I have a level here. These are daily levels. I have a level right here at about 50K. I have a level here at about 52. I see one right here at about 55.8. That's a significant one right there. And then I have one here as well, right about 58.8. And then, of course, we have this level here at $61,000. And so these, to me, are the most key daily levels that I will be looking out for. If price comes up again to test these highs, I would be looking for shorts. If price comes down here to test these lows, I'll be looking for longs. If we come down here to test this low, I will also be looking for a long. And just to throw it out there, guys, this daily support is also the CME gap, right around that area. So just to throw that out there, this would be a great area of confluence to enter a long position, because not only is it a CME gap, but it is a daily support level. And if we take our fib, just curious here to see what happens if we do take our fib to the all-time high, we can see that just from this small move here, from this dump to the top, that is actually is in between the 0.382 and the 0.5, nothing too significant. Let me pull it from this previous swing low here. Yeah, interesting, guys. So if we pull it from this dip that we got here down in March 25th, which you could say is the real swing low of this move upward, then this CME gap would also be the 0.5 Fibonacci level. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking at the wrong thing. No, the gap would be the 0.236 Fibonacci level. So it's still a Fibonacci level. It would still give us a layer of confluence there. And how are we going to find these entries? Well, what we're going to do is check this out. So when we come up to these highs on like the 4-hour time frame, and we're looking for a short position, right? Like right here, where we came to this daily level, we came below it, we came back above it, and we retested it. We see a few things, right? We see, number one, Market Cipher B on the 4-hour is printing this red downward momentum wave. So we have two things in our favor for entering a short. We're at a daily support level. We're breaking through it. Market Cipher B is giving us downward momentum. Then what we need to do is we need to go to the lower time frames just to get an added layer of confirmation. So let's find out where we're at here. Look at this, guys. Look at this. We see a clear direction money flow crossover as soon as we are coming down below this support. Okay, so we had the higher time frames telling us we're really coming up to a top, guys. You should be looking for a short. We come to the lower time frames. We see the confirmation that money flow is crossing down. And that's really how we're going to find those entries. We want to see, we can't just wait for any old money crossover on the 12-minute, because it's not always going to give us a good entry. A lot of times it will, but if we're not trading on one of these levels, then we're not going to we're not going to get those good entries. And if the higher time frames are not starting to print a top or a bottom, we're not going to get those good entries. Like right here, money flow crosses over many, many times in this area. But if we go to the higher time frames, okay, and we zoom out, we can see that, during this time of consolidation, Market Cipher B on the higher time frames was in an area of, there was no top or bottom being printed. So you want to really wait until you see a top or a bottom being printed on the higher time frames, and then go down to the lower time frames and find that direction. Creepy Joe. Shout out to Creepy Joe. Shout out to Ramon. Yeah, that's a good point, Ramon. The Coinbase IPO makes him want to wait to do any trade. He believes they're going to push it down to help the IPO launch. Yeah, there's a lot of different opinions on that too. Like some people think that they're going to push it up so that it looks good when the IPO launches. Other people think they're going to push it down for the IPO launch. Action camera. I set the buy. I'm not in a trade right now. I'm just looking for my plans. A positive. What about the CME gap at 54K? Yeah, I was waiting for that. And it never really came. Unfortunately, never really came. But it's not out of the question. We just take it level to level. So this is a great question. Lade HF says, if the 4-hour Market Cipher says long, but the 15-minute Market Cipher says short, which one should I listen to? That's a great question. So you don't enter a trade unless both are giving you confluence. That's why I say, like, we want to see something happening on the 4-hour and then confirm it on a lower time frame. So here's the order of operations. Unless you're following a strategy like, my 4-hour, 24-minute strategy, if you go to my channel, I have lots of Market Cipher tutorials. If you go to playlists and then you click Market Cipher tutorials, this strategy right here is a very, very profitable strategy. The 424 Market Cipher trading strategy, a step-by-step guide. This will get you in winning trades, but basically what this is, it's a more systematic, a more algorithmic approach to basically looking at a higher time frame to see direction and then zooming into a lower time frame to confirm that direction. So if you're looking at the 4-hour time frame, and let's take for example this long that happened down here at this support. We were on this support for 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 hours. For almost a whole day, we were just trading sideways on the support. So you could have tried to enter long here all these different times and not actually, you would have gotten sliced up, right? Because you could have tried to enter long here. You could have gotten a scalp. In fact, I forget if I did trade a scalp here or not. But to get the big move, how do you know? You are going to see the 4-hour, and let's go into the Discord real quick and check out that trade that I actually did post here, right when we were down here on the support. I was looking at the 12-minute. Okay, the 4-hour had been printing bullish for quite some time, but it wasn't until I saw on the 12-minute all these bottoms, a clear direction upwards, and a clear money flow crossover on the lower time frames that I decided to enter. Because right here, the lower time frames are still telling me the money flow is coming down. This is not a good time to really enter. So come back here. Let's go back in time real quick, just so we can take a look at what we would have been seeing, what we would have want to have been seeing. We can see the 4-hour is clearly printing. It's looking like it's about to cross over. We can be pretty sure that this is going to print a bottom here, right? We're not 100% positive yet because we could have one of those whoopsie-daisy drop downs, but we're anticipating this print. If we go to the 3-hour, we're really anticipating that print. And so this is our signal. Okay, we're anticipating a bottom here. We're anticipating no more downward momentum. So what I want to do to find that really good entry is now I'll go down to the 12 minute. Now I will go down to the 12 minute, and on the 12 minute, we can see a really clear direction, a really clear money crossover. And if we just start to play it a little bit, you know, we're getting this kind of direction right here. And so I wouldn't enter the trade until it was confirmed on the lower time frames. And so if they're conflicting, if the 4 hours conflicting with the lower time frame, I would just wait it out. I would wait it out, because you're going to get those best entries when everything is telling you one thing. Okay, we came down to a daily level. We got a bounce and a retest and another retest. Okay, this is showing us that we're holding support. And then we come to Market Cipher B, and we see a clear direction, right? Bottoms, anchors, and a trigger. The same is true over here, except we didn't come down to a daily level. We came down to this might have been considered more of a 4 hour support level here. But the point is, whenever we come down to a level of support or resistance, okay, that you can clearly mark off and show in the past this level was respected, okay, and then we're coming down to it again, and we get this crossover, that's where you want to enter, right? That's how I do it. And you're not going to get every single move doing it this way, but it's going to ensure that the moves you do get are the moves that really give you consistent profit, okay? So, you know, as soon as that money flow crossover happens, you know, look at what we see. We see price just goes up. It went from this daily level down here to this 4 hour support right here. That's a nice 2.2% move. You know, that's a really nice trade. And of course, we know that move continued to go on. In hindsight, we can see that was a really great long entry. And I actually wrote this trade up in 2 chunks, because I think I might have gotten stopped out in profit here, because I moved my stop loss up too tight, but then I got back in up here. But that's what you would do. People get confused when they see bullish signs on a higher time frame, bearish signs on a lower time frame. You want to wait for things to line up together. And I'm a big fan of trading with 2 time frames. Okay, the 424 strategy, the 55 strategy. Let's talk about those for a second. Let's talk about these. Let me load up another chart. And if you're newer to trading in general, you will want to potentially look at some of these strategies. Let me remove these drawings here, and let me add 2 charts. You will want to use some of these strategies if you're just beginning, because they take the necessity of having to second guess yourself out of the equation, because they give you an algorithmic strategy, meaning you're looking for A, B, C before you enter a trade, and you don't enter a trade unless you see those 3 things. So, for example, the 50-minute, 5-minute trading strategy, you're going to pull up a 50-minute chart, you're going to pull up a 5-minute chart. And what you're going to do is you're just going to pull up Market Cipher B. And whenever you see a wave on the 50-minute time frame, okay, come below the 0 line and print one of these bottoms on, or I'm sorry, not the 0 line. Well, it could be the 0 line, but I find you'll get the most success if they come down and print below the 60 line. But you can, by all means, also do below the 0 line. Here's what you're going to look for. You're going to look for a wave come below that 60 line, like right here. We got one on March 22nd at 1830. So let's go back in time to March 22nd at 1830 and see what we can see, if we can find a good entry. So here, let me write down too what we're really looking for. Number 1, we're looking for a green dot below the 0 line on Market Cipher B on the 50-minute time frame. That's the first thing we're looking for. Number 2, we're looking for a clear direction and money flow cross on the 5 minute. Just these two things. Just look for these two things. So when we get this on the 50 minute, we come over to our 5 minute time frame, March 22nd at 18:30. So we're getting there, guys. We've got to go back in time. I know there's a way to do this easily, but it escapes my memory at this moment. Hang on. March 22nd, 18:30. March 22nd. Here we are on the 5 minute time frame. Let's see, where is 18:30? Here it is, 18:30 right here. So we want to wait until we get a money flow crossover. Now, right here, we get a money flow crossover. And, you know, right out of the gate, this would have been, if you had set your stop loss below the last swing low here, you would have gotten stopped out. This would have been a losing trade. You would have gotten stopped out. But the very next time that it happens, right here, we print the dot below, and we get the money flow crossover on the 5 minute right here. Let's do a vertical line right here. Whoops. And we can see that this would have been a really nice trade right here. This would have been a very nice trade entry. And really the way it works with these, the 50 minute and the 5 minute, is you're going to have some small losses, but you're going to have a lot of really big wins using this strategy as well. This would have been a really nice, you could have at least gotten, you know, a 3.5% move here. And then really the next few times that this happens, right, let me put a vertical line here so that we know where this was. And then we come over to our 5 minute time frame. We get a crossover right here. You know, this was also a nice little scalp trade where we could have made a nice 1.5% when we get that money flow cross. Right here, a nice little scalp trade where, okay, 1%, a nice 1% move. We get another one right here. We do a vertical line on the 50. We come over to the 5 minute. As soon as we get that money flow crossover, we get that money flow crossover right here. And we get a nice, I mean, we could have stayed in this trade for quite some time and gotten a really nice entry here. We just could have kept in this trade for a number of days and gotten a nice, like, you know, 12% move here. So if you're newer to this and you get confused about, okay, I see this time frame and that time frame and they're contradicting each other, you know, find a strategy like the 4 hour, 24 minute strategy, the 50 minute, 5 minute strategy, and just enter those trades, because it takes the thinking and the second guessing out of it, and you're just waiting for certain things to appear on the chart, and you're gonna have losses. That's the way trading wins. That's the way trading works. You're gonna have losses, but these types of strategies are strategies that, you know, I use and I've back tested to know, okay, I know that I'm going to win, you know, 8 out of 10 trades or 7 out of 10 trades. So even if I get 3 losing trades in a row, I know I'm going to have 3 small losses in a row, but the next 7 trades are going to be like significant wins. The way you set up these systems is so that you have a small win, small loss, big win. That's really the way you have to look at it in general, because you're not going to win every single trade. It just doesn't work that way. You need to have the losses accounted into your strategy. And when it comes to a strategy, I recommend also you guys come to the channel and check out this video I have in my Market Cipher tutorials, where I actually, how to create a winning Market Cipher strategy, a step-by-step guide. Well, this will go through everything you need to know, including back testing, which is very important. It's very important that you back test your strategy so that you know, okay, this thing is 85% profitable. So if I lose 15 trades in a row, the next 85 are going to be winning trades. And then it gives you a lot of confidence to enter positions knowing, okay, this could be a loss, but I don't care. I don't care because I know that I'm going to get more wins than I will losses. Let me pop back into the chat here. Kaden wants to know, what do I think about trading the 30-minute and the 3-minute time frame? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that you can do. What I like to do is I like to trade in multiples of 10. So, you know, the 30-minute and the 3-minute is great as well. And guys, while you're here, I need to remind you that Coinbase added support for the Jason Casper like button. So make sure to like the video. We got like 700 people in here and only like 100 something likes. Man, this is a huge hit to my self-esteem. I am low. I am low. Just kidding. But look at how serious this guy is about my like button trading on Coinbase. I mean, you can just tell that this guy is important to some degree in the world. I mean, look at the seriousness on his face right here. You know, look at that face, and look at the hand gestures. This is so important, he's saying. This is so important, this Jason Casper like button. He's emphasizing with his hands. He's got his nice neck mic. This is no joke, guys. So make sure to like the video. This is going to be a great investment for you. So I like to use multiples of 10. That's why I use the 4-hour and the 24-minute. And let's just, historically, let's check out the 4-hour and the 24-minute strategy, right? Let's just check it out. So we're printing a green dot on the 4-hour, okay? Green dot on the 4-hour. And you guys know I also use a different indicator called the Wolfpack ID. But lately I've actually been using the Crown RSI EMA. And what I want to see here is I want to see a green dot forming on the 4-hour chart, and I also want to see on the Crown RSI EMA, I want to see that the RSI, this blue RSI, has crossed over this gray EMA. These are going to be our first two confirmations for the 4-hour, 24-minute strategy, okay? And so let's write that down. The 4-hour, 24-minute strategy. Number one, we want to see a green dot printing on the 4-hour. And we want to see either Wolfpack or the Crown. We want to see the RSI confirming upwards over the EMA. Okay, then when we see that happening, like in real time, when we see that, this doesn't have to be confirmed yet. When we see this happening, then we're going to come over to the 24-minute time frame. Okay, and we're going to just look, and if you follow these types of strategies, guys, you're gonna have success. Okay, because it just works that way. It takes like I said, it's more algorithmic, right? You're creating an algorithm where you're just looking for things to happen, and then you're entering a trade, and you don't have to like go from time frame to time frame and be like, but the 5-minute says this, and the 10-minute says that, and the 5-day, and the 2-day, and the 1-day, and that, and then you miss the move, and you FOMO, and then you're lost, right? We don't want any of that. What we want to see is the green dot printing on the 4-hour, the RSI pointing upwards on this Crown indicator, and let me just real quick show you what that is. KROWN. It's the Crown Trading RSI plus EMA plus control zones indicator. Okay. You can also use the Wolfpack ID for this as well. The Wolfpack ID, basically, instead of looking for the RSI to cross over the EMA, you're just looking for this thing to cross above or below the zero line and change color. So when we see this thing happening on the 4-hour, we come to our 24-minute. And what we're really looking for, guys, is we want to see some kind of bottom that has formed, and we want to see a clear direction. And then we will either enter on the first green trigger wave that we see, where Wolfpack is also crossed over that zero line, or we can also wait for a money flow crossover, where Wolfpack has crossed over the zero line. Those are our two options, okay? And both can give you some success. But usually I do whatever I see first. So if I see the money flow crossing over first, I will enter on the money flow cross. If I see anchor trigger first, I will enter on that trigger. And look at this move that we would have had here just by doing that. It was a really nice move. And we can go back and just back test this real quick, because I've actually back tested this back to 2019, and a lot of people in the Discord have been back testing this as well. And the cool thing about trading this way, guys, is you just set your alerts. It's so easy to set your alerts. They go to your phone. You don't have to sit there all day second guessing yourself, right? It's so easy for us as traders to sit there all day second guessing ourselves, especially when we're trading in markets like this where it's literally been sideways for all night, right? We've been trading these two dojis all night. People are waiting in the Discord. They're coming up with possibilities, and you just overthink it. You get paralysis of analysis instead of just waiting for very clear signals to start forming. So again, we come over here, right? Let me draw a vertical line right here, and let's find that area on our 24-minute. Okay, check this out, guys. Check it out. So we're getting our 4-hour dot printing there, right here. And on the 24-minute time frame, what do we get? We get an anchor right here. We get a trigger right here where the Wolfpack ID is crossing over, changing color. And we get a money flow crossover right here. So, you know, we could have entered somewhere around here, and that would have been a really nice move for us. 4%. Or if we get out here, you know, 3.29%, but probably you would have gotten out somewhere around here at a nice 2.23%, which is fine, right? We want to make those consistent gains. And again, we have one right here. Do a vertical line here on the 4-hour vertical line, and let's come back and see what we can see on the 24-minute. Well, 24-minute, what do we see? We see a bottom, okay, printing right here. We do see clear direction. Now, we don't actually get a signal to enter until right here. And this strategy is not going to get you the exact bottom every single time, but it will get you a significant part of the move. So we would have entered right here, and that would have been a nice almost 1% gain, right? Almost 1% gain. About a 1% gain. That's like a song I wrote. You can't complain about a 1% gain trading every day, and it gets to your brain. Oh. I have to keep that on the down low. I'm actually, I have some major label interest. I'm about to get signed to a major record label. So I actually feel bad that I did that live because I know people are going to bootleg my mixtape. And this works too, guys, for even if we're not printing bottoms here, right? Even if we're not printing bottoms, like this is a very clear bottom. You have your left cheek and your right cheek, okay? This is a very clear bottom, okay, sitting on this bench of the 60, okay? Even if we don't have bottoms, even if we are printing these green trigger waves up on top like here, right? Let's draw a vertical line here and check out the entry we could have gotten using the 424 strategy. Okay, this was March 29th. At 4 o'clock. So March 29th at 4 o'clock. Let's see. Where are we? Right here, 4 o'clock. Look at this, guys. Look at this, okay? We got our green dot starting to print. We come over to our 24-minute time frame. What do we see? We see a bottom. We see a clear direction. And right here, boom. We see a money flow crossover. Wolfpack ID is confirmed. We enter right there. And we just ride that thing up, man. A nice 5% gain. And this is just when we're printing something up here. And we just go the 4-hour, 24-minute strategy. Let's see where it happens again. Right here. Put a vertical line. We would have entered right here, the first trigger wave that we see. And this would have given us a nice little 1.26% gain. And if you're using like lower leverage here, 3x, 5x, 10x, 20x, 100x, you know, that could have been a 100%, you know, gain if you're using 100x leverage, which I do not recommend. I do not recommend that. But guys, if you find this helpful, make sure to follow into the like button. And guys, if you do want to learn, you know, how to mark levels, how to find those perfect entries, how to backtest a strategy and become confident, I have a course that I am offering where it's a comprehensive trading course for people who are brand new to trading or newer to trading, who are having trouble becoming profitable. And the purpose of this course is to give you a very clear and thought out strategy to creating your own trading plan that's profitable and backtested so that you can have the confidence to enter trades and not be second guessing yourself and not be sitting there forever wondering, should I long, should I short, and then end up FOMOing in and FOMOing out and losing all your money. This is going to help you stay calm and clear and concise. We go over 3 sessions on how to use Market Cipher. We go over how to create your own winning strategy, and I even give 3 or 4 example strategies just like this 24 4-hour, 24-minute strategy, which I go into much more depth in that course. And basically, I'm giving you strategies you can use right out of the gate to become profitable, as well as teaching you how to create your own, which I think is very powerful. Because just because you know the theory of trading and all this, a lot of times it can be difficult to become profitable if you don't have a strategy that has already been backtested that works. Having a strategy that already works gives you the confidence to push forward and tweak it and create your own strategy. But a lot of times people, they're new to this, they open up Market Cipher, they get so confused, right? You're looking at the 24-minute time frame. You could have said, okay, look, we had an anchor wave right here, we had a trigger wave right here, another trigger wave right here. You could have went long right here, right when we got these 3 trigger waves in a row. And what happens? You get stopped out. Why? Why is that? People get confused. You need to know how to use Market Cipher. You need to know how to look at multiple time frames. And so this course is going to give you some example strategies that I've tested, where it basically like I said, it takes the real-time thinking, and I don't mean to demean anybody, but honestly, when you're trading, for me, if I have an algorithm that I can look at where it takes the thinking out of it, where I get an alert on my phone, and then I check it, and it's like, oh, okay, time to enter a trade. I don't have to think. I don't have to analyze. I don't have to overanalyze. I just say, okay, it's time to go. And then combine these strategies with support and resistance levels, and you're golden. You're golden when you combine these things with support and resistance levels. And the 4-hour, 24-minute strategy works both ways, long and short, but it only works in a trending market, okay? You cannot use it to short in an uptrend, and you cannot use it to long in a downtrend. Let's go here to the chat, and Action Camera fundamentally does not short Bitcoin. Yeah, sometimes that's good. Mert wants to know, do I think we're going to fall a little bit? I mean, yeah, personally I do, only because when we look at the 4-hour, we still have some downward momentum coming on here. And we see that the RSI is crossing below the EMA, and, you know, it looks like we're getting some kind of downward direction there. All right, let's check out, shout out to Spawn Tamp. Oh, YouTube didn't give a notification. Shout out to Joseph Morales. Yeah, good times in the Discord, guys. And join the Discord. There's a link in the description of the video. And guys, like this video. We got 700 people in here, only 290 likes. Man. Guys, I'm going to, you know what? I will do a giveaway. If we can get this video up to 700 likes, then I will do a giveaway. The course, I'll give away the course as well as $100 of Bitcoin. And not only will I give away the course, but I'll also give away access to the trading Discord where I post my trades in here, my altcoins, my scalp trades. Man, we've been really killing it with these altcoins though. YFI, Litecoin is killing it, guys. Litecoin. Since I posted Litecoin in there, we're up quite a significant amount. I love Litecoin. Man, Litecoin though. Litecoin is nice. Is it not? Is Litecoin not nice? I mean, the breakout. I think when I posted it, it was right when we were testing this 21 EMA in here. So since I posted that, I'm trading it on Binance. It's up 38%. That's legit. That is legit. Yeah, so I'll give all that away. Let's get this video to 700 likes. That would be dope. Yeah, that's true. Bojon says if you guys don't get notifications from YouTube, you can join Discord and get notified from the announcement channel every time Jason goes live or posts a video. Yeah. So Jasmine Fialio says, when we go to lower time frames, we're looking for a smaller or bigger waves depending on if we're longing or shorting. Yes. That's true, Jasmine. And make sure, you know, you need to find confluence between multiple time frames. You really, really do. Caps Locked asked if I record the course videos live. They were recorded live. Now they're recorded not live. But I'm actually going to be redoing them. I'm going to be redoing them because I am going to be, well, there's some big things coming up, guys, for the channel. I'm going to be partnering with some people, and I'm going to be redoing the courses. Right now, the course is you can do a one-time $200 Bitcoin payment, or you could do monthly $30 a month on Patreon, patreon.com. Hey, shout out to C137. Guys, actually, let me make this guy a mod here. This guy, can I view his channel from here? This guy does some good TA, and I don't know if I can view his channel right now. Let me go to my YouTube channel here, and right here, guys, check out this guy. He's only got 44 subscribers. He does some really good TA videos. Check him out. He does them live. He does Market Cipher analysis. He has some really good ideas, so make sure to go check him out. Yeah, guys, if we can get this thing up to 700 likes, I'm gonna do the giveaway. But I don't know if we're gonna do it. I don't know if we can do it. This people don't like my videos anymore. Late HF says, can trading in a bear market be as successful as trading in a bull market? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So let me go to Bitcoin and let's go look at a bull market, at a bear market, right? And just because we can use the 4-hour, 24-minute strategy in a bear market as well. So let's go back to the dreaded. Well, I don't know if Bybit goes back that far, but let's do BTC USD on Binance. BTC USDT on Binance. And let's go back in time to the crash. Well, let's go to the Corona crash even. We can go to the Corona crash and just kind of see. Well, that was such a flash crash, so that doesn't really count. But let's go back to, you know, January 2018, give or take, and just see what we can see back when Bitcoin was insignificantly cheap. So this was the crash here, right? Where we were in a downtrend for quite some time. We were in a downtrend from December 17th all the way to basically, I would say, the summer is when we were in this massive downtrend. And so, you know, you can short this and make just as much money trading the downtrends as you can trading the uptrend. And obviously, I'm not going to go through and backtest, but if we just look at the 4-hour only, right? And when we see something happen like a money flow crossover on the 4-hour, right, where we see a clear direction downward, where we're printing a bottom, and we see this clear direction on Market Cipher, where we're clearly coming down, right? We were in an uptrend, and we weren't printing anything below the zero line on the 4-hour, and then you can see a clear direction downward, where we are printing things now below the 4-hour. And as soon as we get this money flow crossover, you just short. And not only do we get the money flow crossover, we get the moving average crossover, and you could have gotten a super nice, you know, 33% gain here, okay? Shorting. However you want to do that, the inverse perpetual or the regular. And then again, right here, we're printing a top on the momentum on the 4-hour. And we know we're in a downtrend, so we're going to be prioritizing the shorts. How do we know we're in a downtrend? Because the EMAs are telling us the 55 is above the 21. We're in a downtrend. And as soon as we see that we're starting to print this top on the 4-hour, we can short again. And we just short this down, get a nice 25% gain. And then again, you know, we're printing a top right here. Maybe you wouldn't want to short this because the money flow is coming back into the green here. And maybe you would want to long this little thing here. But then as soon as we get the moving average crossover and money flow crosses into the red again on the 4 hour, and this is a bear market, guys. We're killing it right now. We just short this thing down and get a nice 38% gain. And if you're shorting this for Tether, then, you know, that's all USD you're making. If you're shorting this for Bitcoin, then you're stacking your Bitcoin on the way down. And then really just every time that happens, you just short. And it's look at this, like another 47% gain. So we're making on the way down here, you know, probably like 65% because we're not catching every move. But and then the way I would trade this is I would do the 4 hour 24-minute strategy where I'm looking for a top on the 4 hour. And then I'm looking for an anchor and trigger on the 24-minute with the money flow crossover, and that's how I would find those really good entries for that. And then for sideways markets, you got to change up your strategy too. Like for sideways, people always ask, like, oh, it's so easy to trade in the bull market. What about the sideways market? Well, it's a little bit more difficult in the sideways market, but on the sideways market, what you're going to do is you are going to get you know, a rectangle, and you are going to mark out a range, and then you're going to mark support and resistance levels like this, and of course we have one down here, and of course we have one up here, and you're going to trade whenever price comes to one of these levels on a sideways market. You're going to have to say, okay, I see that price is trading at one of these levels, like let's say right here. I see price is coming up to a significant level of resistance, and you're going to go down to a lower time frame, and on the lower time frame you're going to be looking for something like this. You're going to be looking for something like this on a lower time frame where you see a clear top, a clear direction, and then, you know, the money flow cross, and that's where you look to enter the short position. That's how you would get your confirmation. And getting confirmation this way, guys, you're not going to catch the full move. Catching the full move is riskier. It's doable, but it's riskier because, like, let's say you want to short before you get confirmation, before money flow crosses over. You definitely could have gotten a lot more of a move right here. But you have a higher risk of being stopped out because you don't know if price is actually going to go in the direction you want. Like, for example, right here, you know, if we're just using the money flow crossover, we would have gotten stopped out shorting here. That's why we want to wait for confluence on multiple time frames. So that's like the bear market and sideways crypto winter markets. And sideways crypto winter markets, guys, I mean, the gains are going to be smaller, but it becomes clear, like, you know, when you get to your levels, these are your trade entries. It's just like it's easier to know, okay, when I get to resistance, I'm going to short. When I get to support, I'm going to long, because we're not in a crazy trend. And so you can be more confident that we're not going to have some crazy breakout and hit a new all-time high during these kind of crypto wintry seasons. And so that's why it's so important to get a strategy now and backtest that strategy, because, you know, I've been backtesting the 4-hour 24-minute strategy all the way back to 2019, and it is a very good strategy. So, okay. Yeah, Spontan says it's all about that Bitcoin stacking. I trade BTC USD only. Yeah, I trade BTC USD. Yeah, okay, C137, his YouTube channel, guys. I'll put the link in the description. Here it is. Check him out. Check him out. And yeah, Bitcoin's breaking down right now. Let's take a look. I don't know if it's breaking down on the. I mean, I know it is on the lower time frames, but on the 4-hour, not so much. And really, you know, what I'm waiting for is, well, let me pull up another chart here. Let me go to the Forex setup here. where I've got my levels marked out. Now I'd love to see us come down to, you know, test this this EMA again, and you know what I'm really looking for is I want to see us dump. I want to see a bottom starting to print on the 4 hour and the 3 hour and the 2 hour, and then I'm gonna confirm that by coming over to like the 12 minute, and I'm just gonna be looking for something like this, where we get a clear money flow cross, right? A clear direction with a money flow cross, while we're also printing a bottom. Like right here, well, let's go to the 4 hour. Like what we saw down here, we're printing a bottom on the 4 hour. We come over to a lower time frame. Where are we? We're getting close. We come over to a lower time frame, and let's see what we can see. Where are we at? Where's the Bitcoin price? Here it is. So we come down here, and we're printing a bottom. We come to the lower time frame, and we just see this clear direction as well. It's being confirmed for us that we have all these bottoms, and we have a clear direction. We have the money flow crossing over, and that to me is the signal. Okay, enter. Because, you know, before that we're getting all chopped up, sliced up in here. It's not until we get this clear money flow cross that we start to see real upward momentum coming in, and we can ride the price action up to this level, right? We're just going level to level. Alright guys, I'm going to have to cut the stream kind of soon. I appreciate everyone for being here. I know we got a smaller group today, but I do see that Jerry posted a super chat. Shout out to you, Jerry RC 310R. Do I think it will pump or have a dip tonight after futures open? I don't know. I do not know. That's why, you know, I'm a big advocate of just marking out the levels that I'm looking to trade from. And then when price gets to one of these levels, I don't care if it pumps or dumps. I don't care if it pumps or dumps, because I have a plan regardless. My plan is, when it gets to one of these levels, I'm going to be looking at Market Cipher to show me, okay, we're coming up to a resistance. Do we have the momentum to break through the resistance and go long? Or are we showing downward momentum, and do we go short? That's really what I'm looking for. My foundation are the levels of support and resistance that I mark out, top-down analysis. If you want to learn more about that, sign up for the course. Guys, you can sign up for the course on patreon.com/Jason Casper, or you can join my Discord and hit me up for more details on that. If you join it here, let me put the link. Oh, well, the link to the Discord is in the description of the video. So that's all I'm looking for. I don't care if it pumps or dumps. I don't know. If I had to guess, it looks like we have more downward momentum here, right? The VWAP on the 4 hour is pointing down. The waves are very separated. And so it looks like we're going to have some downward momentum. And the way we determine that the downward momentum is ending is, let's say price does come down all the way down to this line again, right? What would we be looking for? Well, that's what happened right here. Price came all the way down and hit this line. We're looking for momentum to bottom out on the higher time frames, and then we're going to the lower time frames to see that we have that clear direction. And of course, we're not going to catch every move that way, but the moves we do catch are going to be really, really nice. They're going to be super nice. Longs and shorts. Longs and shorts. And of course, you know, when we come down to the moving averages as well, the 21 EMA, right? That's also, if ever we bounce off a 21 EMA, that's a golden entry right there. That's a golden entry if we're in an uptrend. You just have to make sure that the lower time frames are confirming. Like this trade right here that I took, when I took that, where did I take that? I think that was this. Yeah, that was this right here, because the bounce off the EMA. this was risky because the 4-hour was not bottoming out, right? The 4-hour was not bottoming out, and the VWAP was pointed way down. But I posted here that I didn't have many confirmations, but on the lower time frames, I was getting that direction. Like on the 3-minute, the 6-minute, it was showing me, okay, we're starting to come back up. So, if you're getting a bounce off of an EMA like this on the 4-hour time frame, and those lower time frames are giving you upward direction, that's a good time to look for a scalp trade that could potentially turn into a longer term trade. It ended up that this trade, which started out as a risky scalp, ended up being a nice 5% move right there. So that's kind of how you're going to do it. You don't care if it pumps or dumps. You just look for those significant levels and then make sure Market Cipher is giving you confluence. And you just go for it. And if you get stopped out, you get stopped out. You'll get the next trade. Christ Mob Finance Agent says, I think it's got money flow crossover into negative and printed at top. Yeah, I mean, we did print the top back here. So, for me, this would have been, like, if I was looking to short from up here, I would have been shorting from there. But, let's see. On the 1 hour. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad idea to short here. I'm not. All I'm saying is that for me, I wouldn't enter a trade here simply because it's not on one of my levels that I have marked out. Because I'm a very conservative trader. You guys know what I'm saying? I'm extremely conservative, all right? I voted for George W. back in the day. I'm just kidding, actually. I wasn't old enough to vote back in George W.'s day. But I'm conservative, all right? I drink my coffee slow. I sit on the porch all day. Think about how much I hate liberals, all right? Thinking about how much I hate, them liberal people. I'm conservative with my trading, all right? I'm not going to enter a trade unless we're coming down to one of my levels here, okay? Now, people who are more liberal traders, that's totally fine. I have no hate against my liberal traders. For me, when I trade liberally, I get stopped out of a lot more trades. I get stopped, and the losses aren't huge because you have your good stops. But I would want to see price come down to one of these levels first. That's just my style, and no hate against anybody who trades differently. But because I don't have all day to stare at the charts, I'm waiting for my confirmations that I already have alerted out, marked out, and that's just how I roll. But yeah, it's definitely not a bad idea to short this right now. And let me pull up actually another chart here. Yeah, like we're breaking down below this level, which actually is a key level. And now that I rethink about it, maybe this is a nice conservative trade right here. Maybe this is a more conservative trade just because you could say, okay, we're breaking down from this resistance, and so you have your entry right here. You put your stop just above the last swing high. You set your take profits down here. And yeah, absolutely. Maybe I'm sorry about the southern accent. I have to recant my southern accent. I have to go a little bit more British. Yes, of course. I think this is a nice place to take a short here. As you can see, we got the money flow crossover on the 12-minute time frame as well. And we're also losing the support right here. So as you can see clearly, we're coming down, we're bleeding down. And where would I set my take profits? Well, probably, I'd set them at the next support and resistance levels. So obviously my main target would be down here, right at this support right here. This is also a daily level of 58.4, give or take. And look at this. Shout out to Christ Mob who found this trade actually, But yes, I could totally see this working out right now. But we're bleeding down. So honestly, I'm obviously not in a trade right now, but if I'd be looking for, next trade I enter probably be a long trade, unless we come down to this level and also lose momentum. So sorry about that. Oh, thanks, RY Andy. Yeah. A video about how to set up a stop loss. Thanks, Fat Tony. Yeah, guys, I don't think we're gonna get the giveaway because we got a small crowd today and very few likes. Man, thank you, British people, for giving me a an A plus on my British accent there. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to cut the stream soon, guys. I appreciate all of you guys for being here. I have a Twitter, but it's still not in the works. Like, I still don't use it. I'm getting it stepped up. Do an Aussie accent. Oh, man, I don't know if I can do that. All right, mate. Gonna get some shrimp on the barbie. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can do a pretty good Indian accent, though. I think I can do a pretty good Indian accent. Okay, so how do we do an alert? All right, let's see if we can do an alert with an Indian accent here. All right, so the way you set up the alert, okay, in the trading view, first thing you do is you look down here at the Market Cipher B down here, okay? You know what? My Indian accent isn't really up to snuff. It used to be really good back when I was when I worked with Indians all day, but now I can't do it. I have to like get into the mindset. It is very, very good. Very, very good. You have to wait for the right thing to happen, and once it happens, you enter into the trade. Okay? Okay. So the way you're gonna do it is you're gonna right click on Market Cipher B. You're gonna click Add Alert, and then go to Market Cipher B, and you select what you want. Do you want a small green dot, like a green dot? Then you select green dot. Only once will make the alert trigger. Only once. As soon as that green dot starts to print, it will give you an alert, and then that alert will cancel out and never happen again. Once per bar close, we'll wait until the bar closes. Once per minute will basically give you an alert every minute while that dot is printing. And depending on how you want to trade, you might want to do once per minute so that you know, okay, there's a dot printing right now, and you don't forget once per bar close. You might miss the move if you're waiting for a 4-hour, 24-minute strategy. You might miss the move if you do once per bar close. And then you just click create, and make sure you click show on notify on app, because this will send it right to your phone, regardless of where you are. All right? Okay. Yeah, it does sound half Eastern European. Guys, accents are not offensive. Come on, man. They're not offensive. They're just part of life. They're part of life. I mean, I speak other languages, and I have accents in those languages. Oh, an alert for daily support level, Creepy Joe. Sure, let's check it out. Man, people get so offended these days. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Okay, so if you're doing a daily support level, you just right-click here, add alert on horizontal line. Then when Bitcoin is crossing up, crossing down, or just crossing, you set your alert. It's as simple as that. All right, guys. I'm going to cut the stream, but definitely some big things coming for the channel. Shout out to Jerry RC310R, who loves that I put God first on his holy day and stayed away from trading, whether pump or dump. Oh, nice. He's a Seventh-day Adventist. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, guys. Well, yeah. Okay, Luis Rivera. Hey, Jason Casper, where are the best videos to watch to learn how to use Market Cipher? Well, come to my channel and go to playlists, go to Market Cipher tutorials, and I've got a whole bunch of tutorials in here that show you lots of different styles to trade with Market Cipher. Okay, a lot. And some of these are longer because some of these are live streams, but some of these are shorter and right to the point. I think you'll have a lot of good information there. Also, check out Flopping Groper's videos. check out Crypto Faces tutorials as well. And yeah, so what does my course include if you are a very beginner? So if you're a very beginner, the course basically tells you expectations, mindset, how to use TradingView, how to read charts, price action, candlesticks, trends, the basics. The course is meant for people who are very new to trading or have never traded before. The accents, guys. Shout out to Jack Carter, who says that my strategies are amazing. We'll be doing the course for sure. Yeah, let me put a link to the Discord. Okay, David, this is a good question, David. Oh, God bless, Buzz. God bless. Thank you for the super chat. The CME gap, Market Cipher doesn't take that into account. It does not. But what it will do is it will tell us that we're about to dump or pump. It will tell us that we're about to dump or pump or dump. Pump or dump, dump and pump. Right? That's what it will do. And so it's not necessarily going to tell us that we're going to come down to the CME gap, but it will tell us that price is dumping, especially, you know, if we turn on Market Cipher A, you know, we'll start seeing stuff, and when price is dumping, we're going to start seeing stuff like blood diamonds, yellow X's, right? If we see a yellow X, you know, that's a really good sign that we're dumping. Okay, if we